grade fives, happy Sunday. I hope you had a restful weekend. Ramadan Kareem to those who are celebrating, and then just hi to those who are not. This video is a very, very important video, and I'm hoping that you are paying attention because this is going to be probably one of the most important videos of term 4. So as you know, we've officially completed term 3 as of Thursday, and today marks the first day of term 4, also the last term of grade 5. And that entails a few things, and I want to talk about that. That's why I'm making a video. I was going to write this out, but I think it would have been much more impactful if I talked to you. And I know I can't talk to you face to face, but this is how I'm talking to you. A few things, and there's so much I need to go through, and they're all such important points I need to make that I've literally written it out. Like, there's that many things I need to talk about. So if you see me looking here, it's because I've got pointers so I don't miss anything. So there's 3 basic things. First, I want to congratulate all of you, regardless of your level of engagement, you all have embarked on this new journey, right? This new e-learning process has been a new process for everyone, literally, for you, for me, every teacher, every student. So, we understand that. We have been very, very understanding. We appreciate your patience, your family's patience and understanding, and your efforts. So we do want to congratulate you, and that's a big deal. Like, this has never been done before. So congratulations. You should be very proud of yourselves. Some more than others, but you should be very proud of yourselves for being able to embark on this journey. So excellent job on that. Having said that, so and when I'm talking about myself, I'm speaking on behalf of Mr. Matt and Miss Rachel, but we are very, very proud of each and every one of you of doing the best that you can for the past month and a bit. Having said that, and this is going to be my second part of the video and the longest part of my video, and I was thinking about it, it's very ironic that I'm doing this video on behalf of the grade 5s, because normally I'm a very upbeat, very happy, bubbly kind of an individual, and unfortunately having to make this part of the video makes me very, very sad because of how disappointing the e-learning has been for many of us. So part 2 of this video is, and what I call this, is the reflection part. So I want you to take a moment, and maybe if you want to pause the video after I finish the sentence, I want you to take a moment and I'm being serious, like, be very honest with yourself. How do you really think you did as a grade 5 student that was embarking on e-learning? And now I take away the new aspect of, doing my assignments online, doing Edmodo quizzes, but just the overall general box of, I'm a grade 5 student. How do you think you did? I want you to really think about that, because unfortunately, there are very few of you who have done what we have expected a grade 5 student to do. And that makes Miss Rachel, Mr. Matt, and myself very, very sad. And it's very little to do, and unfortunately, it's very little to do with the actual new e-learning. It's actually everything else. And I'm going to talk about each thing in depth. So we were very, very appalled. And again, throughout this whole video, I'm not talking about every single student, because there's tons of you who have done your absolute best. And that doesn't mean you got E's on everything and you were, up at 7 a.m. every morning doing every assignment. No, this just means that you did your best. You met the expectations of every assignment on time, or at a relatively good amount of time. I'm just saying that there are way too many of you who have just checked out. Your level of commitment has plummeted, which means it's just gone down. And we cannot understand why. It doesn't matter. You're literally doing the same thing that you would be doing in class. And yes, you're having to learn on your own, and that for sure is a challenge. We get that. That's not the issue. We understand that. Yes, your teacher is not with you all the time. You can't just raise your hand and ask a question, or you can't just walk up to me and say, Miss Mavish, I don't understand this part. We understand that's hard. That is the difficult part. But that's also why we are available from 8 to 3 every day for you to ask us questions, to ask us for a Zoom meeting, or that's why we have Zoom sessions every single day. There are so many things that are in place to help you, and most of you are not taking those opportunities and hence are not succeeding. So you will see a report card in a few days. You'll probably see it Thursday. And some of you are going to be shocked. Although you shouldn't be shocked, because if you were honest with yourself, you should know the level of effort you've put in is going to produce the level of grades. And they're not that great. And it makes us so sad, but it's not us. You are choosing to not be your best. We know you. Your teachers have been with you since September. So we know your work ethic. We know what you're capable of. And those are the students who are getting D's or even RAs or even CAs. We know you're capable of so much more. So it surprises us, and we don't understand why you're choosing not to give it your best. So for example, I want to talk about the last week. So for example, let's just think back to last week. That entire week, Sunday to Thursday, there was absolutely no new learning. You were either just reviewing, you were either studying for quizzes and tests, or you were practicing for your social. That's it. So there's no new learning. And I mean, not that we're not allowed to, but really we should be teaching you. But we said, you know what, that's a lot of things before term 3 finishes. We wanted to give you a little bit relaxed weeks where you can just focus on each assessment and really do the best you can. And some of you took that as a freebie week where you just said, there's no learning. I don't have to do any assignments. I don't have to do any quizzes. I just have to do one test and another and then a social thing. And you guys just wasted the entire week. And then we posted an Excel file on Sunday of all the missing assignments, and it was crazy how many of you were missing assignments. After having been reminded by your teachers from weeks, so this wasn't just on Sunday, this is from prior weeks, so it was already late. Then we had students so 2 things happened. One, students either handed in the work and it was of the utmost poor quality. So you're giving us switch worksheets that were scribbles, basically. Some of you, obviously, please don't think this is every student. This is just some of our students. A lot of our students, but not all of our students. You were giving switches that made no sense, or you were handing in math quizzes, or that also made no sense. Like, if you don't understand a concept, we're not mind readers. We're not going to know that you don't understand. You have to reach out to us and say, Miss Mavish, Mr. Matt, or Miss Rachel, I'm not understanding the science lesson today. Could you help me understand the difference between a series and parallel circuit? Or I don't understand volume. Could you help me understand the difference between volume and area? That is your responsibility. We're here. As always, we're not gone anywhere. We are here for you, but you need to reach out to us. So those students who are getting 4 or 5 out of 40 on your math quiz or your math test, it should not be happening. That is unbelievable. You need to reach out to us and tell us, you know what, Miss Vash, I don't understand the math. Don't take a math test if you're not ready. It doesn't make sense. Also, we've had videos up every week. I had no questions, maybe just a few, but barely any student come up to me and say, Miss Mavish or Mr. Matt or Miss Rachel, I need help reviewing. And then on the day of the test, there was questions. I don't get this, I don't get this, I don't get this. And then there were still students who failed. There should be no way you could have failed. We've done so much practice before the e-learning too for the fractions and decimals. So it was just appalling. And then some of you don't even care, which honestly, and about that, and that's one of my life mottos, like we can't make you care. I can care for you. Of course, your teachers care so much about you and your grades, and we want you to do the best, but we can't make you care. So if you have checked out, we can't force you to say, you know what, I can't, yes, I want to hang out. I'm at home and I want to chill, but I should focus. We can't make you do that. You have to take the responsibility. You have to say, this is my education, not my mom's responsibility, not my dad, not my nannies, not my siblings. This is my responsibility as a student in grade 5. I need to take responsibility. I need to take initiative. I need to go on Edmodo, for example, every day, look at a to-do list. So we put a to-do list every single day of every subject, of everything that needs to be done that day, everything that needs to be due, everything that needs to be handed in. There is no way you should be lost. And then if you are lost, that's when you send a message and say, Miss Mavish, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do for science today. So there's very, very, very minimal space for you to be confused, right? And then if you are, which is fine, then you ask us, right? And above all, and maybe you don't know this, and we've communicated this to your parents or, in general, talk to some of you about this, but the amount of work we're teaching you during e-learning is nothing compared to what we would be teaching you if you were in school. So if you were in school, we would be we would be so much further in our curriculum. We would be done probably another math unit. We would be wrapping up this science unit. Like, we would have been really, really far. We have slowed it down because, again, we understand this is very new for us and it is hard. So again, we as teachers have decided we're going to slow it down. We're going to teach a little bit slower. We're not going to be teaching, and you probably don't know this, but we're not teaching from 8 to 3. The amount of work we put does not take you from 8 to 3. It probably just takes you, if you're working efficiently, it probably just takes you maybe 3, max 4 hours. Nowhere near what we normally do in a school day. So even that, we've already cut down so much of the work, and yet there's still kids who just don't care. And it's so sad because that's your grade, that's your mark. And we want you to do well, but we can't do the work for you. We can't care for you, right? Now, having said all of that and have shared our reflections, we obviously believe in giving second chances, and we have. And so, for example, with this whole Excel sheet we posted, missing assignments, we could have easily just given zeros. And that would have been shocking because there's so many red on Mr. Matt's file, my file, and Miss Rachel's. So a lot of you would have just gotten zeros. Unfortunately for you, we're not those kind of teachers. We believe in second and third chances, and that's just who we are. And so we gave you the whole week to hand things in. And there were certain students who did not give anything at all week. And if they did, you either gave things that were of such poor quality, and you still just got a D or B because you didn't care, or you didn't hand in things until Saturday night, like last minute, when something that was due like 3 weeks ago. So a lot of you need to really spend this time after you've finished watching this video and sit down and say, how do you really want the rest of the school year to be? Do you want to repeat what you just did for term 3, which was have late assignments and poor quality and low grades and poor work ethic? Or do you want to do better? Because, having said that, term 4 is officially starting today. So tomorrow we're going to officially start working on term 4. And obviously the last term is probably the most important term of the school year, because for a few reasons, but mainly because that is the mark that is taken up and that is looked at when you go to grade 6. So that is the final mark they'll look at for grade 6. So if you're going to a different school, that's the grade they'll look at. If your teachers are looking at your teachers at CIS are looking at yours, they're going to look at term 4. That it is a very, very important term, which is why you can take advantage of that and you can be the best you can be, which means waking up every morning, getting on Edmodo, looking at that checklist, looking at the schedules we post, looking at the due dates, planning ahead. Some of you need to just build some studying skills. And that's fine because that sometimes takes time, but that means saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to maybe, and this is just example. For example, you can say, I'm going to work every hour. So maybe 8 to 9, I'm going to work on math, and then I'll take a 20-minute break. And then maybe from 10 to 11, I'm going to work on science, and I'll take a 20-minute. You have to find out what works for you. We have given you that flexibility, which is great, but some of you, unfortunately, are taking advantage of that flexibility and doing nothing. So find out what works for you. Whatever you were doing, and if it wasn't working, stop. Find another strategy. If you were just saying, if you were leaving this until 6 p.m. and you were not being, and of course now you really can't because Ramadan, you need to figure out a schedule for you that works, and you're going to produce quality work that meet the expectations that you know. We're very clear with our expectations. And we've also very much simplified everything we're doing now. Because we have to. Of course, we understand the struggles of e-learning. So we have simplified assessments and projects and our lessons for you. But that means you also need to work. It doesn't mean that we have simplified it and you just give up. Of course not. So that, I do want to say that for last term, that as we move forward tomorrow, I'm hoping you will take the time to reflect and say, where did I go wrong? Where did I go well? What did I do well? What could I improve on? Where did I go wrong? How do I want to end grade 5? How can I end with a big bang in a great way? How can I make myself proud, right? That's the kind of questions and ideas I want you to think about as I'm finishing up this video, okay? Now, for my third section of this video is what's coming up. So like I said, tomorrow we're officially starting term 4. Today is just, it's on purpose. We're making today just a day of reflection. We genuinely want you to sit there. I'm not saying sit there all day and think about this. No, I want you to sit there maybe after this video and to spend some time just reflecting on how I did term 3. How do I, because you can probably predict exactly where your marks are going to be for term 3 report cards when they come out at the end of this week. How do I want to improve for term 4? What do I want to continue doing? Maybe there's some things that you're doing wonderfully, and then what can I do differently to do better, so that I do end as a very strong student, okay? Now, I do want to talk about our schedules now. So as you know, obviously it's Ramadan. For those of you that are not celebrating, it's Ramadan. And so our schedule, and I'll briefly talk about it, our schedule isn't changing much. Few things are changing. So normally, the amount of work we were teaching was supposed to be done between 8 and 3, okay? I've already mentioned it in the beginning of this video that the work we were putting was not even that much. So, as teachers, we were supposed to be putting enough math, enough science, enough social, enough ELA to last you from 8 to 3. We weren't doing that to begin with because we had decided we wanted to be nice to you, and we would cut it down. We were already giving you less work, okay? Now we're going to be teaching from 9:30 to 2, okay? So our bracket of teaching has shortened. So we're not going from 8 to 3, we're going to be going from 9:30 to 2. So that means our attendance and our quizzes and whatever will be scheduled from 9:30. That means your teachers will be available every day from 9:30 to 2. If you want to have any Zoom meetings, if you ever have any questions, that's the time bracket. That means the content will be a little bit less. We're not teaching you nothing. Obviously, we're still continuing. But we understand it's Ramadan, and yes, you can't focus for that long for a whole month. So yes, of course, we are going to be shortening our lessons, but we are still teaching math, English, science, and social every day, okay? So just think about it this way. The schedule is the same. Our setup is still going to be the same. It's just going to be shortened. Everything's going to be shorter. So maybe if a math lesson was supposed to last one period, which is about 45 to 50 minutes, it's going to last maybe 20, 25 minutes. Okay, a science lesson that's usually 45, 50 minutes, it's also going to be about 20, 25 minutes. So everything is just going to be shortened a bit, okay? And so that's one thing about Ramadan. So Ramadan schedules our routine is going to stay the same, just shortened hours. Our available hours now are going to be 9:30 to 2. So if you ever have any messages, do it between 9:30 and 2. Now, for example, let's say you sleep in. And I know some of you will be doing that. You sleep in after you wake up for suhoor, you have your food, you sleep, and you don't wake up until, 12 or 1. You have to know that your teachers are only available until 2. So if you're expecting to have questions, and that's fine, you can still message us, but we're not going to get back to you until 9:30 next day, okay? So you have to be careful with that. If that means you're going to maybe wake up, get all the work done, and then take a nap, maybe you want to do that. But just be mindful of those hours. Second thing, and this was a few of my kids had asked this, and I said I'd get back to them. So term 3, we had no moral education and no U8 social. And I said eventually it would be coming back, and it has come back. So term 4, you will be having, and it's the same, 1 period a week. So you'll have 1 period of UE social, and then 1 period of moral education every week, okay? So they didn't want to have that for, we didn't do moral ed and UE social term 3. We are going to do it now. So this week, starting this week, next week, we'll have 1 period every week. So there's moral and UE social coming up. Last thing is that, so obviously we're finishing up this video. Your only task for today, like I said, was to 1, watch this video. 2, take some time to reflect on how you've done so far and where you want to go from here. And 3, because of that reflection piece, there will be a quiz. And it's not a quiz. We're not marking it. There's no right or wrong answer. It's more like a reflection quiz. But we do want to see your answers. We're not marking this. You're not going to get E's and CAs, but we are going to mark it to see your reflections. This would be the same. We would be doing this, and we've done it before. I know my class has done it. We've done self-reflections before report cards. And this is just that. We would do it in person in school, and we can't do it in person, so we'll have this. So you're going to be doing, it's a quiz, it's a reflection quiz. So after you finish watching this video, just like any other quiz, go to your planner section, take out the quiz, and it's just a reflection piece, asking you questions about how you've done so far. What do you like about e-learning? What you don't like? What you want to change? What you want to improve on? So that is your only task for today. So 3 things. Watch this video, which you're almost done. 2, which is to reflect. And 3, to do that reflection quiz. So then starting tomorrow, we're starting term 4. So tomorrow we're going to post everything like we normally do on a Sunday. Okay, so the schedules, the timelines, the work for week 6 will be out tomorrow. Okay, so and it's always good to wrap it up in a positive way. Although this video was not the most positive video, you can still take so much positive out of this. So even if you felt like, you know what, I did not do the best I could do. I know that. My report cards are going to show that. And you know what? I've let myself down. If that is you, that's okay. That's a great place to start if you want to improve. And I tell my kids all the time, it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are a good thing if you learn from them. So if you made a mistake in term 3, you were slacking, you didn't care, you weren't giving quality work, you didn't care about the expectations, you didn't care about your teachers, you didn't care about your education. But now it's hit you and you said, gosh, I need to buck up. I need to work hard. That is a good thing. That's fine then. That's a mistake. That was worth it then. So if that's where you are, then I'm hoping you're reflecting and thinking, I can do better. Because we all can. We all can improve. Even the students who are doing good, they can still, there's always room for improvement, and that's the best part about life, right? So I do want you to think about this in a positive way. How can we improve? And to those kids, because I feel bad about it, those kids who have been giving their 110% during e-learning, just as they would be in class, thank you so much. Congratulations and thank you. Thank you for understanding that just because the mode of teaching, the way we're teaching you has changed, does not mean the expectations should come down, does not mean that you should change as a student. It just means that we're teaching in a different way. And you're adapting, and that's a wonderful thing to do, right? You're learning how to adapt to life crises, and that's a life skill, okay? So I hope you do take this video seriously. I hope you don't, and I hope we do see changes for term 4, because I know on behalf of the 3 teachers, we weren't so pleased with term 3 report cards. We weren't pleased with the level of commitment that went down. We weren't pleased with the quality of work we were getting. We weren't pleased with your accomplishments, and it all because we know you're capable of so much more. We know that we know the quality of work you have given, and it's up here, and now you're just kind of sitting here and you're just sitting comfortably. And no, we're not going to let you sit here. We want to push you because we know you're capable of such wonderful things. So let's not be comfortable here. Let's challenge ourselves to excel and do the best we can in school and in life, right? Okay, so take this in. As soon as this finishes, please go do your reflection quiz, and then tomorrow we'll officially start term 4. So congratulations on finishing term 3. I will see you when I see you. Okay, bye.